So, welcome everyone to our first guided yoga practice of the spring 2025 virtual learning experience. And it's really such a delight to see those of you who are joining us here live, or even if you're catching the recording at any time, the beginning of this year or sometime later. I had invited the use of yoga props if you have them, and particularly if you are watching the replay of this, it could be good just to take some time and to find a yoga block or two, to find a blanket to help support you in this practice. And it's my intention to really make this accessible to anyone who is dropping in and choosing to practice. So all that I am guiding us through is simply an invitation, and you have the beautiful luxury of being in your own space, and so you can do or not do anything that you like. Really, of primary importance is to listen to your body. And I will invite us to actually begin lying down, if that is comfortable for you, to begin on our backs. I am going to remain seated upright for the moment, just because I want to open our practice with a reading. And so I will join you all in practice. But for now, yeah, take a moment to lie down. And if your legs want to be extended out long, or if you want to bend your knees, maybe take your feet as wide as your mat or pretty wide, and then let your knees knock in together. This can be releasing on your lower back. Oh. And for some of us, I think for most of us here, it's still morning sometime, maybe early morning for some of us, a little bit later morning for others. So this could be the first time that you're dropping into your body and dropping into your breath. And so bringing one hand onto your heart and bringing another hand onto your belly.
I see.
And begin to just simply notice your breath. We're not trying to force it to be in any way, but really just noticing, seeing if you can feel the breath slowly in through your nose, filling your chest, your lungs, your belly. And as you exhale, just noticing how everything softens and your belly falls back. Inhaling through your nose for a count of 4 to 6 seconds, really filling up, expanding. And then exhale in any way that feels most releasing, just letting it all go. And here we are arriving at the start of a new day. So, the new beginning of this day, we're at the beginning of a new year. And we're at the beginning of a new semester. Maybe for some of you, this is your very first semester in graduate school here at Saybrook. And maybe it's not. Maybe you've been here for a year, a few years. But regardless, we're beginning something new. And so, to honor this new beginning, I wanted to share a poem with you as you continue to breathe and just connect with your body and your breath. This poem from John O'Donohue, and it's called For a New Beginning. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not clear yet, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. And allowing your breath to grow a bit deeper, a bit wider, filling the container of your body. And as you exhale, letting that be a releasing, full exhale. You might choose to keep your hands on your body if that feels supportive and resourceful for you. And standing your knees if they're not already. Bringing your feet so that they are hips width distance apart. Scooching your heels so that they're a bit closer to your sits bones. And at this moment, I'll invite everyone to lengthen their arms long out onto the mat by your sides. Tuck one shoulder blade under and then the other so that you can broaden through your clavicles, drawing your shoulder heads down and back. Maybe the tips of your fingers can graze the back of your heels. As you inhale, slowly start to articulate through your spine, lifting your hips up towards the sky. So we find a bridge pose here. As you exhale, slowly lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Your hips are the last to touch the earth. Again, inhale, pointing your tailbone between your knees as you slowly start to lift up, pressing firmly down through your arms and in your feet. Exhale, slowly lowering everything down, feeling the crunches, the kinks, noticing the entirety of your spine. And now on this third time, we're going to hold at the top of our bridge pose. So inhale, slowly taking your time to get there, shining your knees forward, lifting up, activating your hamstrings and your glutes. And as you exhale, we're pausing here. You can choose to interlace your hands underneath your hips. Again, shifting your shoulder blades one under and then the other. So we're really open through our chest, strong, hugging into midline here. Inner thighs are isometrically drawing towards each other like you have an invisible block between your thighs here, active and strong. One more inhale to find a little bit more lift. And as you exhale, releasing your hands and slowly lowering all the way down to the mat. And then hugging in one knee and then the other. Just give yourself a little squeeze here. And rocking from side to side. Starting to circle your knees in one direction. Can open up through our low back, feeling your upper glutes and your piriformis. Reverse the circle of your knees in the other direction now. And then pausing in center, give yourself a nice hug. If you can reach your nose up towards your knees, just creating a small little ball here. And then releasing everything down, your head to the back of the mat. Hold on to the left knee here and or your right knee, excuse me, and then let your left leg go long out onto the mat, flexing through your left toes. So you're reaching out through your heel, nice and active in your left leg. And your fingers can be interlaced around the front of your right knee as you just start to gently hug your knee towards your chest or maybe out towards your armpit. You can feel an opening in our left psoas and a simultaneous compression on our right psoas, our hip flexor here. And see what feels good. If you want to just start to draw some little circles with your right knee, or maybe stillness. It was what feels good for you. And observe the right side of your body. Are you shortening your waist? Is your right hip creeping up towards your right armpit? And if so, just encourage a level pelvis here and drawing your right hip down so it's in line with your left. So lots of space on both of our side bodies. And then we'll switch out our legs. So bringing your left knee in and then right foot can be long onto the mat. Again, nice and flexed through your toes. So you're shining a light out of the ball of your right foot, reaching out through your heel. And left toes can be active here as well. And so paying attention to your waist now on the left side. So seeing if you've hiked up the left side of your hip and just notice if you can bring it down in line with your right. And then gently drawing your left knee towards your chest or maybe out towards the side a bit. If some little circles feel good here, or maybe just pausing in stillness. Take one more breath. Full inhale and a slow releasing exhale. We can bring our left leg long out onto the mat now. Reaching your arms long up overhead as you inhale, stretch and reach, a nice big good morning stretch. And as you exhale, we'll hug our knees back into our chest once again. And this time we'll start to rock forward and back, just building some momentum here. Rocking forward and back, and then we'll come to a comfortable seat at the front of your mat. And so here can be a good place if you would like to bring your blanket for a little bit of elevation underneath the hips, and whatever comfortable seat looks like for you here. And noticing what leg you have crossed in front, and bringing your fingertips down to the earth on either side. And really soft through your joints here. So like you're moving through thick salt water as you inhale, slowly starting to sweep your fingers up towards the sky. And as you exhale, pressing down, releasing your hands towards the earth. Inhale, slowly reaching up, lifting out of your waist, finding lots of length in your spine. And as you exhale, pressing your hands strong through your fingers, slowly releasing down towards the earth. One more time, inhale, reaching up. Maybe you even take your gaze up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, twisting over towards the right, your left hand coming to your right knee, right fingertips tented on the earth behind you. As you inhale, lifting up through your crown. And then as you exhale, twisting. And drawing your left hip back in space, sometimes we want to jet our left hip forward so we can feel like we're getting more twist, but we really want to bring our left hip back so we can isolate this in our upper thoracic spine. With each inhale, you're finding a bit more length from the seat all the way through your crown, and your exhale, softening into your twist. As you inhale, coming back to center, we'll reach our hands up to find lots of room for our discs here. And then with your exhale, twisting over towards the other side. As you inhale, lengthening through your spine. And then with your exhale, we find our twist. Gaze can remain in line with your sternum, or maybe you can take your gaze over your left shoulder, bringing your right hip back in space so we can have our pelvis be nice and even here. One more inhale, filling your lungs. Stay for your exhale. Inhale brings us back to center. We'll reach up, maybe even looking up. And then as you exhale, folding forward, rocking your fingertips forward, releasing your chest down towards the earth, melting your heart. And this can be a great place if you have a block. You maybe want to bring that to rest underneath your forehead, or maybe your forehead can make contact with the earth. Breathing into the back of your heart, back of your lungs, rooting your pelvis back and down, feeling grounded. Inhale, slowly walking yourself back upright. And then as you exhale, switching the crossing of your legs here. Inhale, sweeps your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, we twist over to the right. Rooting down as you inhale to find length in your spine. Exhale, twisting here. And noticing what's happening in your pelvis. Drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Inhale brings us back to center. Again, we reach up. Exhale, twisting over towards the other side. With each inhale, we grow long in our spine. And then on the exhale, we bring a twist. Letting the breath fill the front, the back, and the sides of your body. And then we'll come back to center. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. And then with your exhale, folding forward again here, releasing everything down, melting your chest, reaching your sternum towards the earth, and letting your forehead rest on something, whether it's the earth or maybe a block. Bringing some ease into the back of your neck. Just being real gentle with ourselves here. And then slowly walking yourself back up to center. Removing anything that might have been under your seat. And we'll bring our legs long out in front of us. And using your hands just to shift your glutes so that you can really feel your sit bones rooting down in towards the earth. Toes are active and flexed towards your face, reaching out through your heels. Fingers can be by your side here as you inhale, lifting up. With your exhale, folding forward, walking your fingers towards your feet. Again, another great place for a block here. This is morning for most of us who are here live. So we're just still waking up in the body. You can bring a block rested on your shins so you can release your forehead down. This can be a nice restorative posture here. As you inhale, wave your spine long, and then exhale, softening a bit more. and meeting your body where you are today. Slowly walking yourself back up to center, setting your block aside. And then we'll swing our ankles around, so shifting onto one of your hips. So we can come into an all fours position here. And again, if you have a yoga blanket or any blanket, this can be a good thing here to bring underneath your knees for a little bit of support as we find our all fours position here. So taking time to set ourselves up, our knees are directly underneath our hips, wrists are directly underneath our shoulders, pointer finger facing directly forward, flaring through your fingers, suctioning your knuckles down into the mat so we can feel a simultaneous lifting up through our palms and a gripping down through our finger pads. As you inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze, we find our cow pose. And then as you exhale, rounding through your spine, tucking your chin, and then sending your hips back towards your heels for kind of a modified child's pose here. Inhale brings you forward, dropping your belly. We find our cow pose. Exhale, we round through cat as we come back, child's pose. Knees can be, or toes can be tucked or untucked. And we're flowing here. So as you inhale, bringing it forward, tilting your pelvis up towards the sky, hugging your armpits towards your waist. Exhale, pressing firmly into the earth as you round your spine, tucking your tailbone, sending your hips back. 3 more just like this on your own breath. Again, really feeling the subtle movement through your spine and your pelvis. Letting your breath guide you here. And this is our moving meditation that we also call an asana practice. And when you finished with your third round, and there's no rush here whatsoever, we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop. And release your right leg long up behind you, tucking your toes. And just begin to rock gently forward and back, opening up through your calf and the back of your leg. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lift our heel towards the sky, long leg, left arm will reach out in front of us. As you exhale, we'll hug everything in, rounding through your spine. If you can touch your knee to your elbow, or your knee, yeah, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend, reaching out through your fingers and your heel, find lots of length. With your exhale, we make contact, elbow to knee. One more time, inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, hugging into midline, waking up through your core. Inhale, extend. And then as you exhale, keep your heel lifted and plant your left hand down. And we'll sweep our foot out towards the side. So now it's coming directly out of our hip socket, off the right side of our mat. Ground your foot down, toes facing forward, grounding down through the outer blade edge of your right foot. And then slowly coming up, placing your hands onto your hips. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, side bend towards the right. So releasing your right hand down to the outside of your leg. And then reaching long from your left knee all the way out through your left fingertips. As you inhale, spiral your heart open towards the sky. Exhale, finding a stretch and opening along the left side of your body. Inhale, moving from your center brings you up to standing on your knee. Exhale, releasing your right hand or your left hand down onto the floor. We find a supported side plank here. So grounding down through the outer blade edge of your right foot. Your left hand can be on a block or maybe on tented fingers. or maybe your hand is on the floor. Inhale, spinning your sternum up towards the sky. Exhale, feeling that long line of energy along your right side body here. Inhale, slowly coming back up to center. And then as we exhale, we're going to come back down into our all fours position here. Take one round of cat and cow here just to rinse through your spine. And then bringing your left leg long out behind, tucking your toes, and just beginning first through that gentle rocking forward and back, opening up here. And then lifting your left heel towards the sky. That's your inhale as you reach your right arm long out overhead. Exhale, we hug it in, drawing elbow to knee. Inhale, extending, flexing through your left toes here, active in your right fingertips. Exhale, hugging into center, activating through our midline, deep core here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hugging into center. Inhale, extending. And then as you exhale, plant your right hand and then swinging your left foot now all the way out towards the left off your mat, facing forward, grounding down through your foot and particularly the blade edge of your left foot. We can slowly come upright for a moment, just placing our hands on our hips, feeling our alignment here. Inhale, sweeping your arms forward and up. And exhale, releasing towards the left fingertips sliding down the outer side of your left leg, right fingers reaching, side bending here. As you inhale, drawing your right shoulder down and back so you can spin open. And exhale, feeling the stretch along your right side body here. Inhale brings us back up to center. And exhale drops us now down to our supported side plank. Right fingertips can be tented or maybe all the way onto the earth or a block underneath our hand here. Sometimes this helps give us more space in our trunk. Inhale, opening up. And exhale, reaching long through left fingertips. Inhale, slow and moving from your center brings us back upright. And as we exhale, we find ourselves back into a tabletop here. And one time again, moving through a cat and a cow just to bring our spine back into neutral. Planting firmly down through your hands, extending one leg and then the other. We find our straight arm, straight leg plank just for a moment. Let's feel into our core. You might even choose to rock forward on the toes and back, hugging, knitting in through your front ribs here, hips in line with crown. Inhale, shifting your weight forward. And then as you exhale, sending your hips up and back, we'll find our first downward facing dog here. Separating your feet so that they're hips width distance. Heels can be energetically drawing down towards the earth. They might not touch, and that's okay. Slight micro bend in your knees as you widen your sit bones towards the sky, melting your heart towards your upper thighs. Drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Hands firmly rooted into the earth. Take a nice full inhale through your nose, filling the capacity of your lungs. And then exhale, letting something go. Make a sound, open your mouth. And then inhale, rise high on the balls of your toes. Exhale, drawing your heels towards the earth and start to walk your hands back towards your feet. So we're walking back towards the back of our mat. Forward fold here, generous bend in your knees. I want you to bend your knees so much that your low belly can rest on your upper thighs. Releasing your head down towards the earth, softening through the back of your neck, letting it go. You can interlace your arms here if that feels good. Maybe take a sway from side to side. Breathing into your back body, even feeling the compression of your lungs a little bit as you breathe along the front line of your body here. And then releasing your hands. As you inhale, bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, long spine, crown reaching forward. Exhale, deeply bent knees. Tailbone gets heavy as you start to roll up your spine, bone by bone, stacking shoulders over hips. Head is the last to rise. Inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead. And exhale, hinging at your hips, bending your knees, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bringing your fingers down towards the earth, we walk ourselves back out to a downward facing dog. Bringing your big toes to touch at the back of the mat. So your two big toes become like one. Inhale, sweeping your right heel up and back. As you exhale, looking back to be sure that all 5 toes are pointed down towards the earth. This will help level our pelvis. Take another inhale to lift your heel up a bit more. And then as you exhale, bending your knee and drawing your knee towards your nose. And we'll step your foot next to your right thumb, dropping your left knee down. As you inhale, coming up, hands to your hips. And as you exhale, we just sink our hips down here, but not collapsing into your hips. So we want to come first into a more 90-90. So you can lengthen your tailbone down towards the mat, magnetize your pubic bone in and up to activate and wake up the belly of your left thigh, feeling the opening in your psoas here. Maintain that integrity. Then you can lift your arms up towards the sky and maybe drive your knee forward here. We find our low lunge. Lifting your heart as you breathe in and finding your shoulders drawing down and away from your ears as you exhale. Inhale, reaching up out of your waist. And then as you exhale, sweeping back, we find a half split, straightening through your right leg. Right toes are flexing towards your face. Inhale, waving your spine up halfway. Exhale, softening forward. And drawing your right femur bone into the hip socket so you can level your pelvis here. Releasing through your head. And breathing here. Inhale, we rebend through our front knee. As you exhale, framing your front foot, tuck your back toes, lift your knee up. Now here I want you to draw your pubic bone to your navel and your navel towards your spine to wake up through your core. From there, as you inhale, slowly starting to rise up, we find our high crescent lunge. Exhale, front knee drives forward. And maybe even see if it feels good to wiggle walk your right foot out just a little bit so you're standing not on a tightrope, but more on train tracks. One more inhale to find lots of length here. And then exhale, planting your hands, and we'll step back into a downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here, feeling what you feel. We're bringing a bit more movement now. Big toes to touch again at the back of the mat. Inhale, left foot up and back. As you exhale, leveling your pelvis here, dropping your left hip down. Inhale, finding a bit more length and reach. As you exhale, hugging your knee in towards your nose, rounding deeply through your upper spine so you can step your left foot next to your left thumb, dropping your back knee down. Inhale sweeps forward and up. We find our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. And we can use our hands as alignment tools here to bring our hips back so we can point our tailbone down towards the earth and toning our low belly in and up, which then wakes up. We want to be feeling this in the belly of our right quadricep and our psoas. Take one more inhale here, feeling this. And then as you exhale, sweeping back for our half split Ardha Hanumanasana. Straight left leg, toes are flexing towards your face. Inhale, waving up through the spine, get long. And then with your exhale, softening and releasing it down. Inserting your left femur bone into your hip so you can level your pelvis here. Inhale to ground your left foot down, rebending through your left knee. Plant your hands on either side of your left foot, lifting your right knee up. First, we activate through our core, so magnetize your pubic bone in and up. Inhale, sweeping your arms forward and up. We're high on the ball of our right foot. Exhale, sending your shin forward for our high crescent lunge. Just here for a moment as you inhale, lifting up, finding length in your side bodies. As you exhale, lowering down, framing your foot, stepping back into plank. And then taking your knees wide, big toes together, we find a child's pose. Releasing your forehead down to the mat, melting your heart. Breathing into the back of your heart, back of your lungs, feeling your breath expanding in 360 degrees. And then slowly pulling yourself forward, we're going to come onto our bellies. So legs long out behind you, untucking your toes. We're going to bring our forearms into a number 11 and scooching your elbows back towards your waist so that your elbows can be directly underneath your shoulders. Index finger pointing directly forward. We draw our shoulder heads down and back, widening through your collarbone. Grounding down through your pubic bone. Inhale, pulling your heart through the doorway of your arms. And exhale, stay here for our mini back bend. Strong through your legs, pressing down through the tops of your feet, even lifting your kneecaps up and off the earth. Take another inhale, lifting your gaze, but not crunching through your neck. So really maintaining length in the back of your neck. And then as you exhale, lowering down all the way, you can bring your elbows wide, stacking your hands and just resting your forehead on the back of your hands. And bringing the soles of your feet towards the sky. And just begin some windshield wipers. So dropping your feet down to the left. As you inhale, standing the feet. Exhale, releasing your feet down to the right. So just moving here. Some gentle windshield wipers. And then taking your feet long out onto the mat again. And we're just going to roll ourselves over on towards our backs. And removing, if you're using a blanket, you can move that off to the side or keep it there. So just whatever feels good for you. As we find our way onto our back and standing your knees and bringing your right heel on top of your left thigh. And you can stay here. This is a great place to be. You can take your right hand and just gently encourage your left or your right knee to open up laterally, finding some stretch here. Flexing strong through your right toes to protect your knee. You could also start to draw your knees closer towards your chest, threading your right arm through the needle and just interlacing your hands on the outer left shin or maybe the back of your left thigh. You can use your elbow here to then kind of draw your right knee out. So nice and flexed through both feet here. It's especially important that you're flexing through your right foot because we really want to protect that tender knee joint. And I'm just finding myself actually rocking a little bit from side to side here. So see if there's some organic movement or what feels good for you here. One more breath as you gently encourage a bit more opening and spaciousness. And then releasing, we'll switch to the other side. Right foot plants onto the earth, crossing left ankle over the top of right thigh. And staying here is great. You can just play with this, kind of opening up, gently encouraging your knee to open, or you can thread the needle here and bring both knees in towards your chest. Really paying attention to the flexing of your feet, particularly in your left foot now. And using your breath to soften the web of your nervous system. And one more full and spacious breath. When you're ready to bring both feet back down towards the earth, we'll hug our knees in towards our chest, bringing your arms out to a T, and then dropping your knees over towards the right. And then using your bottom foot to shift your right hip underneath your left so we can have a stacked pelvis here. As you inhale, feel an opening in your chest. As you exhale, softening your left shoulder down towards the earth. Your gaze can be straight up ahead, or maybe you want to release your gaze out over your left fingertips. Breathing into your spinal twist here. Again, noticing what you notice, feeling what you feel. And then we'll slowly start to bring ourselves back to center, recentering your hips. Knees come in towards your chest and then dropping over towards the left now. And then using your bottom foot to pop your bottom hip underneath the top. Again, so we can bring this twist more into the thoracic spine. As you inhale, feeling an expansion. And with your exhale, releasing down towards the earth, a softening and opening. And then slowly coming back to center, planting your feet, recentering your hips. Legs can go long out onto the mat. Inhale, reaching up overhead, arching through your low back. We find another good morning stretch here. And then exhale, releasing everything into the earth. We find we find our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose here. Our space of integration, releasing any control over the breath, over the mind. And in yoga, Shavasana is corpse pose. And as in the cycle of humanity, in the cycle of life, it's necessary for us to go through death to experience rebirth so that we can welcome new beginnings. We can release the armor, we can release the things that just no longer serve us, that we feel that we've outgrown, that we feel ready to let go of, so that we then can, and it's only through letting go that we can then bring in. And we can awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back, learn to find ease and risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. Resting in Shavasana here for another few moments. And you may choose to stay here for a while longer if that serves you, or begin to start to invite some movement back into your body and start rocking your head from side to side, a wiggle of your fingers, your toes. And then drawing one knee in towards your chest and then the other, give yourself a squeeze. And let yourself roll over to a side of your choice. And whatever side you come to, using your bicep as a pillow, and planting your other hand on the earth in front of your heart. And take a full breath into the back of your heart, back of your lungs. And as you exhale, slowly starting to make your way back into a comfortable seat. As we close our practice here this morning, and taking an inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. As you exhale, drawing your hands to prayer in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. And we'll close our practice with the sound of Om. And although we are in our own spaces, we'll still be joined together in this cosmic vibratory sound of the universe. Let's take a cleansing breath in through your nose. And an exhale to release. And we'll inhale for Om. And feel free to chant along with me. Bringing your thumbs to third eye center, space between your brow. May I see my truth. Bringing your thumbs to your lips. May I speak my truth. And then bringing your thumbs back down to your brave and beautiful heart. May I feel my truth. And then bowing the wisdom of your mind to the knowing of your heart. The divine spark in me honors, acknowledges, and cherishes the divine spark in each and every one of you. And thank you all so much for your presence, and hope to see you again. We will be practicing tomorrow as well as Thursday morning. And then Dr. Carlos Santo will be leading a guided Tai Chi session Friday morning, same time, 7 a.m. Pacific to presumably 7:50 or so. And thank you all so much. The sun is now up here.